Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we turn your source material into instant expertise. Today, we're taking on a silent epidemic. It's what happens to your body when you're living a super high-stress, high-focus life. If you've ever woken up with a headache you just can't explain, or, a weird soreness in your jaw, this deep dive is for you.
We are diving deep into bruxism,
Hmm.
which is really just the medical term for grinding or clenching your teeth. And this isn't a small thing. It's a powerful and often totally overlooked habit. Some of our sources, like Vinova Dental, are basically sounding the alarm. They're seeing cracked teeth more than ever before.
Right.
And the connection they're drawing is, well, it's pretty clear. Our rising stress levels are showing up as physical destruction right in our mouths.
That immediately connects the dots we wanted to draw. So, our mission for you today is pretty critical. We need to unpack that exact link between stress and this physical symptom. We want to arm you with the knowledge to spot the subtle clues yourself, and most importantly, draw a really clear line between the different treatments. Specifically, the huge and honestly often misunderstood difference between a custom night guard and a cheap one from the pharmacy.
Right. And we've pulled together everything from frontline dental clinic guidance to, comprehensive health data from the NIDCR. And we should probably establish right away that bruxism isn't just one thing. It can happen when you're wide awake.
Mm-hmm.
We call that awake bruxism.
Right.
Or when you're asleep.
Mm-hmm.
The NIDCR actually notes that daytime clenching is statistically more common. It's tied to concentration. But the sleep version, that's where the real damage happens. So it's been studied a lot more.
And while I'm sure many cases are mild, we really need to focus on the severe ones because that's where the damage starts to become, permanent. Let's talk about the mechanics of the jaw, because this is where it gets kind of mind-blowing. When you're just chewing food, your jaw muscles are applying a pretty controlled force.
Exactly. We're talking in the range of 20 to 30 pounds of pressure. It's functional. It's efficient.
Okay, 20 to 30 pounds. But what happens at night when you're unconscious and clenching?
It's a completely different world. The sources state that the jaw muscles can exert these just staggering forces. We're talking peaks of up to 250 pounds of pressure.
250 pounds, that's an exponential leap. It's hard to even picture that kind of force on something like tooth enamel.
It is. And Vinova Dental had this fantastic, really visceral way for you to remember it. Imagine a professional NFL linebacker, a fully grown adult, standing on a single tooth.
That's the force we're talking about every night.
That's the force.
Huh.
And that analogy just underscores the destructive potential here. It raises a huge question, why? Why does our body do that?
Exactly. Of all places, why does the brain channel all that tension right into the jaw?
The main trigger, and this won't be a surprise, is stress and anxiety. So when we experience stress, the body releases cortisol.
The fight or flight hormone.
The fight or flight hormone. It primes your muscles for action. But if you're just sitting at your desk or lying in bed, you can't run. You can't fight. So your brain looks for an outlet for all that stored up energy. And it finds the most powerful immediate muscle group it can radiate, the jaw. It tries to physically work out that stress while you sleep.
So it's the body basically short-circuiting its own stress response.
Wow. And you mentioned a huge daytime component too.
Yes, daytime clenching is all about focus. Just think about it. Are you clenching when you're stuck in traffic? Leaning over your keyboard, trying to finish a project, lifting a heavy weight at the gym? That intense mental lockdown translates directly into muscle tension in your jaw. It's like the silent background noise of modern work. We talk about ergonomic chairs, but nobody talks about ergonomic jaws.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
And then there's a critical mechanical reason we can't overlook: the airway.
Breathing.
Yes. Sometimes bruxism can be the body's reflexive attempt to open up a collapsed or restricted airway. The jaw thrusts forward to try and reestablish breathing, and that can show up as grinding. It's why bruxism is so frequently linked to serious conditions like sleep apnea. It can literally be a fight to survive the night.
Okay, so we've got the force 250 pounds and the triggers: stress, focus, and airway. Now, for the listener who's thinking this sounds a little too familiar, what are the red flags? What does that force actually look like in the morning?
The signs can be tricky because they often show up as problems somewhere else. The most common one is the morning migraine.
Not a real migraine, though.
No, not a true migraine. It's a dull, nagging headache, and you feel it mostly in your temples. That's because the temporalis muscle, one of the main clenching muscles, has been overworked all night.
And I imagine if the temporalis is sore, the big muscles in your cheeks must be feeling it too.
Oh, absolutely. The masseter muscles. They'll feel tired or bulky or just chronically sore. You wake up and your face feel like you just ran a marathon. That's pure muscle fatigue.
And what about the teeth themselves? I mean, what's the finish line look like for them?
The physical evidence is, well, it's chillingly clear. If you look in the mirror, your canines, your fangs, they should be pointy. If they look flat, like someone filed them down into a little table, that's the signature of grinding.
And I've heard about jaw popping too, the click.
Right. That's TMJ dysfunction. If your jaw is clicking or popping when you eat or talk, it means the joint itself is under so much stress that its delicate balance is off.
So, drawing on the NIDCR data, let's give people a broader checklist. Beyond just flat teeth, what else should they be looking for?
Well, those high forces lead to flattened, chipped, or even cracked teeth. In bad cases, teeth can become loose. And the enamel, which is the hardest substance in your body, just gets worn away.
And that's when you get sensitivity.
Exactly. It exposes the softer inner layers of the tooth, which leads to that sharp pain with hot or cold.
And on the muscular side.
It's more than just tiredness. It's a generalized soreness, a tightness of the whole jaw complex. And that pain radiates. It can show up as headaches or even deep facial pain that you might mistake for a sinus problem.
So, if you're recognizing some of these patterns, how does a dentist actually move from just a suspicion to a real diagnosis?
It always starts with a good medical history. They need to understand when it's happening, day or night. They'll ask about your symptoms and, crucially, about your stress levels. And since most people don't know they do it at night, they'll often ask if a partner has ever heard grinding noises. That outside perspective is so valuable.
And then comes the physical exam.
Right. The dentist is looking for that classic wear, those chips and cracks. They'll check your existing fillings or crowns for damage, too. And they'll palpate. They'll feel the jaw muscles to check for tenderness.
And for those cases where something like sleep apnea is suspected?
Then they might recommend the gold standard, which is a polysomnography.
A sleep study.
Exactly. A sleep study. It sounds intense, sleeping in a lab with sensors, but it provides a definitive map. It tracks muscle activity, brain waves, heart rate, breathing, everything that gives a whole picture.
So once you've confirmed it, the next step is understanding all the causes, because it's rarely just one thing, is it?
It's never just one thing. And knowing the cause really helps guide the treatment. The NIDCR really emphasizes that your emotional state is a huge factor. Stress, nervousness, even just feeling blue.
But it's not just what's in your head. Lifestyle plays a big part.
A huge part. Consuming alcohol or a lot of caffeine, smoking, all of these things can interfere with your sleep patterns and seem to make bruxism worse.
And then there are factors you can't control at all, like your genes.
Yes, there definitely seems to be a genetic link. It can run in families. And there's another crucial one. Certain medications for things like depression, seizures, or ADHD can sometimes increase the risk of bruxism as a side effect.
Okay, so that's a lot of potential causes. What are the big categories for treatment then?
They fall into four main buckets. First, you've got behavior change, which is all about increasing your awareness, especially for daytime clenching. Second is stress management, which is attacking the root cause.
Yoga, meditation, that sort of thing?
Exactly. Then you have mouth guards or intraoral appliances. And finally, there's dental treatment, which is basically fixing the damage that's already been done.
And that brings us to the big one, the question we really need to unpack for everyone listening. The great guard debate.
It's the multi-million-dollar question.
Right. Why pay for a custom guard when you can grab a cheap boil and bite from the pharmacy? It seems like an easy fix.
It seems like it, but the reason you resist that urge is rooted in muscle physiology. That pharmacy guard is made of a soft, squishy rubber. And this creates what Vinova Dental calls the chew toy effect.
The chew toy effect. Okay, you have to explain that.
It's because the material is soft and
Mhm.
pliable. Your brain subconsciously registers it as something it's supposed to bite down on, to need. So instead of relaxing the muscles,
You're giving them a workout.
you're giving them a target to chew on all night long. You can actually increase the muscle hyperactivity, making your headaches and jaw pain even worse.
That's incredible. So it's actively working against you. And what about the fit?
The fit is a disaster. They're bulky, they fill your whole mouth, they can make it hard to breathe. Most people just end up spitting them out in their sleep. It's a false sense of security.
Okay, so let's pivot to the professional solution. The custom night guard. This is a totally different ballgame.
Completely different philosophy, different materials. A custom guard is usually made from a dense, hard acrylic. The goal isn't to cushion. The goal is to signal.
Signal the muscle to relax. How does it do that?
This is the key. It's called the proprioceptive inhibition reflex. Because the surface is hard and perfectly smooth, when your teeth try to clench, they just slide. They can't lock in and grind. That lack of purchase sends a signal straight to your brain that says, stop, this isn't working. And that triggers a reflex for the jaw muscles to relax. It actively de-escalates the tension.
So it's not a mouth guard so much as a neuromuscular appliance. It's retraining the jaw. And the fit must be a huge factor.
It's everything. It's made from a digital 3D scan of your mouth, so it snaps in perfectly, it's low profile, doesn't make you gag, and it protects not just your teeth, but the TMJ, the jaw joint itself.
When you lay it all out like that, the choice seems pretty obvious.
It really is. I mean, we talk about grinding your teeth down to nubs. That's permanent. You can't get that back. Fixing it means crowns, veneers, thousands and thousands of dollars.
So the professional guard isn't really an expense. It's an insurance policy for your smile.
That's the perfect way to put it. So what does this all mean for you, listening right now? Let's talk actionable steps.
First, get proactive. Regular dental visits are your best defense. A good dentist will spot the early signs of wear long before you even feel pain.
Next, you have to tackle the stress.
Yeah.
Try yoga, meditation, deep breathing, whatever works for you. And if it's chronic anxiety, professional counseling can get to the absolute root of the problem.
And the lifestyle stuff matters. Cut back on caffeine and alcohol, especially before bed. And if you smoke, try to stop. They all disrupt your sleep.
And for that daytime clenching, it's all about awareness. Set reminders on your phone, put a sticky note on your computer, anything to prompt you to check in. Are my teeth touching? They shouldn't be.
And finally, if these symptoms are hitting home, talk to your dentist right away. Ask about something like a digital bite analysis. It shows exactly where the forces are, so they can design that custom guard to stop the pain and protect your teeth.
We started this deep dive talking about that astonishing force, 250 pounds, that your body exerts on itself while you sleep, usually as a way to work out some kind of tension.
And we established that the only real solution isn't to just cushion that force with something soft, but to actually retrain the muscles with the hard, smooth surface of a custom appliance.
And as a final thought for you to carry forward, since Bruxism is such a physical expression of a high psychological load, just consider the tension we all carry every single day. The fact that your body resorts to such a forceful physical release while you're totally unaware, it raises a really important question.
What's the question?
If your jaw is fighting this hard for relief every night, what other hidden anxieties is the rest of your body trying to work out in ways you haven't even noticed yet?
A truly crucial thought to chew on. We hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge to look at those mystery headaches and maybe your own smile with a whole new awareness.